If you want to learn Counter-Strike, you're at the right place. I'm Evie and I want to share my passion and experience about CS2 everywhere in the world. It's every Sunday, so you can subscribe. Learning how to position yourself is an art that is developed with experience. And when you truly master positioning, you will reach a huge milestone in CS2. We will mainly talk about the defensive side, even if some of these tips also apply to the T side. Let's start with the beginner level and we will progress step by step. Okay, you need to understand that in Counter-Strike, as in any FPS, if you are the first to have the opponent in your crosshair and shoot, you have a much higher chance of winning your duel than them. And good positioning will help you achieve this. Indeed, if you position yourself in a place where the opponent does not expect you, they will not have their crosshair on you when you appear on their screen. And the further you are from the crosshair, the longer it will take for them to kill you. This is what we call taking an off angle. So if you were ready to shoot and your crosshair was closer, you have an advantage. When I say you have an advantage, it means you have more than 50% chance of winning your duel. And good positioning can easily get you around 70% chance of winning a duel. So almost 3 out of 4 chances. An off angle, therefore, is a very strong position. And we will see later that an off angle sometimes is not an off angle because it depends on the context and the knowledge of your opponent. The second important thing as a beginner is that good positioning is also a positioning that is coherent to your weapon and coherent to the weapon of your opponent. If you play long range with a short range weapon or the opposite, and believe me, I can see that even at a high level, then you're at a disadvantage. So adapting your position accordingly is important. And if you know that opponents only have a short range weapons, you might as well choose a long range position to exploit your advantage. Even though the context of a round and a match is often more important, there are some fairly common characteristics of what we consider good positioning. Here are the main ones. A good position includes covering only one angle at a time if possible, so you are not caught off guard and don't have to adjust too much your crosshair. A good position very often includes an obstacle nearby to you, allowing you to hide, making a partial repositioning possible, or a wall that leads us to a possibility of a full repositioning. Since in FPS games information is key, repositioning after being spotted often has a very positive impact. Additionally, if we can have a position that gives us sound information while staying hidden, it is also very powerful as we can gather information without any risk. For example, when I am here as a CT, I can hear if the terrorists are running, whereas if I start my round here, I miss out on a lot of information. Here, I hear all the players on catwalk, and I also hear them dropping to mid if they want to go mid to B or B. All the obstacle-based positions are our utility while being covered. For your info, I created a free email guide with 7 things that pros do that you can easily start doing too. You can check the link in the description. Finally, a good positioning often includes being tradable, meaning being in a crossfire, for example. You have this well-known crossfire here, which can work up to a certain level, as both cities can trade each other. This is why terrorists often throw a smoke here to eliminate the crossfire. To finish with this part, we must also not forget positions that gives you the shadow advantage, allowing you to see your opponents slightly before they see you. To start with this part, we will talk about the off angles again, and we'll talk about verticality. Verticality, it often allows you to have a broken angle, as it disrupts your opponent's crosshair placement, because he has to flick as much vertically than horizontally. For example, this position, or this position. But it can also be in a specific context where you improvise. Here, for example, I am behind my opponents, but I know they will pick because my teammate has spotted them first. So I place myself on the step. This allows me to widen my angle and force them into a difficult flick shot. And after that, I can reposition more easily and I can do a multi-kill. And yes, the context plays a huge role. For example, this position can be excellent or very bad, depending on the round context, meaning what happened recently in the round, the information we have, etc. And the same goes for this position. It's completely bad in the context of a multiple player attack, but for isolating a duel, it is excellent. A good position is also where you are sure you won't be easily flashed or disrupted by a smoke. So again, it depends on the context. But if you want to fight your duels and you play this position on long, you know that there will be a smoke most of the time. So you need to choose a better plan and a better position for your intention. To finish this part, there is a piece of advice that cannot be repeated enough. If you feel that your position is bad, or that it's going to be checked, or that you think that you've been spotted but you are not sure, or you have a bad feeling and that the opponent is about to pick you, just swing it. It will almost always be the best option to pick before you get picked. Then you have the famous pick when my teammate shoots, or pick when I shoot, it depends, which is even better than a crossfire, since it is a crossfire that is only activated by a trigger, so it's kind of a trap, and the trigger is when the teammate is shooting or when you shoot. This is one of the best setups to coordinate with teammates. For example, if you are under balcony on Inferno, the enemies are pushing site. If you have a teammate on the bomb site, he will take the first contact while you pick off his contact. One last thing that belongs in the pro section, but here I'm speaking to advanced players, because so many players forget to do that. I will give you a simple principle. When time is against your opponent, meaning the bomb is planted for you as a terrorist, or there is around 40 seconds and less left as a CT, just hide. Why? Because most of the players, they don't have time to check all the angles properly. They are pressured by the time left. So it's easy for you to catch a player off guard if you take a good short range position. Look at this 1 versus 3 for example. I don't have a kit. I have no chance of winning the round. My first duel, the guy is in the middle of the tunnel. The second kill, the guy is in the middle of car. He has no obstacle to protect himself. I take a bit of time to kill him because I'm 60 years old like Apex.
I'm 60 years old! You need to step up!
And the last one, look at this. What is this guy doing? I never win this clutch if the opponent respects the rule I told you about. So time advantage plus man advantage equals small bitch angles. Now let's talk about the pro part. And for pros, it's mostly about applying the fundamentals I've talked about as often as possible. And we are going to take two different perspectives, the macro and the micro. In micromanagement, we're going to look at donk. And donk applies a rule in a way I've never seen before. It's incredible. In my opinion, this is the hardest rule to apply regularly in micromanagement. And donk applies it almost 100% of the time. This is crazy. To explain the rule, I will give you a simple metaphor. Imagine that as soon as you're spotted, a mine is placed at your feet. And it will explode at your spot after 1 second. If you stay on the spot, basically, you die. So it's as if, in addition to managing his duels, donk is dodging the mines. And by doing this, he is never in the position where he was spotted the time before. Look at this. No mine, no mine. Okay, he's spotted. Now there is a mine. So he has to move because the mine will explode. Boom, he's moving. Boom, he's moving again. Boom, he's moving again. Okay, he's leaving because there is a mine. Okay, moving. So by doing this, he ensures that his opponent's crosshair is always positioned in the wrong place because the opponent will aim where they think he is. And where they think he is where donk is no longer, since he is constantly moving. If you want to master this, I've created an exercise that changed my life as a player and helped me with so many more duels. I've compiled everything into a massive course with over 3,000 players that have already taken the leap. This training will take you from here to here in no time. Right now there is a special discount. There is a 30-day refund guarantee, so you can safely try it. Click the link in the description. By the way, look at how even donk, once again, is not better than the game. Because if he plays against someone who applies this fundamental, he also gets caught. Here you have a French player, Kanki, who is in a 1 versus 2. He takes one down, then look, where he does the fake plant, he moves. And where is donk looking? Right where Kanki was doing the fake plant. Except Kanki is not there anymore, and that allows him to shoot first. There is so many examples of it. And now we're gonna talk about the macro part. The most important thing in CS at a high level, I've repeated it 1000 times, is information. It's the gold of CS2. For this reason, certain positions are used this way, shoulder picking with the utility in hand. This has an advantage at a high level because you can immediately gather info, counter utility, and reposition instantly. If the position is taken in the right context, it's very, very good. Positioning is so crucial in Counter-Strike, and there is so many other things we can talk about. Remember, you have my free guide and my course in the description. I let you click on the link, and I see you next time. Bye bye.